building, and then Tyrael used his word to convince one of Paladin to follow us to where how that the guy is hiding. So we go in and found the guy, gang him slowly because he have very powerful, very good armor. So but slow and steady, the guy got what the word again? Oh yeah, got no, not belly flop by the guard.
Yeah, belly flop.
I mean, he had 5 strength, not 5 in like +5 strength. Just saying. So.
So, you recording then?
Yeah, I think I'm recording. At least OBS is saying that it's recording.
Then you
Should we really?
Okay.
Should be fine.
Should we try to ping face or not?
Okay, so now that we are ready to go, you guys basically have this guy on the ground underneath mountain, or it's mountain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, mountain.
Yeah, you have him on the ground underneath mountain. He is saying a lot of very unfriendly things, except he's saying it kind of quietly because he's having a hard time breathing right now, as he's being half crushed. So, what are you going to do with this guy?
Do we see his?
Oh, actually, with all the paladins around, I'm not sure you. Well, they were technically following Tyrael.
Yeah,
but he's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We don't have head of the holy goodness wave.
So, let me think. Well, these are paladins. Unless you guys decide to do anything. Actually, he's still trapped under mountain, so they're kind of. You can tell none of them are especially eager to intervene in this particular situation, especially this guy. He's got his helmet off and he's just got this big grin on his face as he's getting healed by his friends.
That's the face. Yay, I didn't die today.
Yeah.
So the guy that got belly flop, it his entire body got stuck under or somewhere it not stuck.
Alright, so Fine is writing that out.
This paladin here.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what you expected everyone to situation. There's more paladins than pretty much any other party member.
Well, unfortunately for you guys, you just captured him. Pine, she's looking at you and just shaking her head. Nuh-uh. You can tell she's also not especially keen to intervene in what's going on right now, but at the same time,
fucking shat itself.
I mean, they're paladins, clerics. Well, the Tempest guys probably wouldn't. I don't know. No, Tempest guys would have a pretty big issue with that. Let me go through the list here of who all these guys worship. Let me think for just a second. Okay, so
they're all gonna take big issues.
These guys. Yeah, they wouldn't go for that. Torm. Yeah, probably not. That's a lawful good. I know Tempest is all about honorable combat. This isn't honorable at this point. Not just offing him.
I didn't want to kill. Just want to kill.
Okay.
I said that right, yeah. If anything I say isn't correct me, okay?
Yeah, all of these paladins would have qualms with killing the guy. Now you finally subdued him.
I mean,
I'm telling
qualms
them
are
the
not.
deal. I'm telling them the deal.
Qualms or not, if he stays alive, is a danger to himself and others.
Well, then I guess it'll have to be a quick trial.
Yeah, but he has to be
Oh.
trialed. I mean, that's kind of a thing that a city does.
On-site trial.
Yeah, on site. Literally just do a trial here now, quick.
On-site trial next.
Out of character, I'm going to mention a couple things to you guys. So, what evidence do you have that he is worthy of death?
Of death?
Yeah, that's basically what you're saying.
Well, let's see.
But you're going to use to
The
convince
plot
these
is
guys.
attached to him. How the deal is that either he has to repent, which he has refused to do, or the person who the bone claw is attached to dies, and the bone claw dies. And he's not willing
However,
to repent at all. He hates all of you. And I've asked him those questions personally, and he despises the law. Absolutely despises it.
nope. When did he?
Don't you remember me asking the questions before it brought Tyrio back in to accuse him?
No, he said he hates the authorities who keep sticking their noses into his business, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
Or, the stuck-up magisters or kind of, stuff like that.
Shit,
At
right.
no point did he say that he is, averse to the... Or if he did, that was a mistake on my part, because I was trying to be very careful not to go that.
And then we just missed the most important one to help us.
So,
And
you're
to
wondering
decide.
why he should be tried as guilty then? Easy enough. Malicious intent. Without the intent, the Bone Claw would
what?
not have gone
Fine.
and killed all of those people.
You all
He is guilty of-
want
he
him
is
to have
guilty.
a fair trial and give that beast another chance to come back and kill more people?
The
Fine.
city
Go ahead,
has
but leave me out of it.
laws. If we don't follow them, we are no better than the criminals.
He is guilty.
Fine stuff. He doesn't care. He's going over to go get stuff.
Would you guys quit interrupting Morgan for a second?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I understand that my microphone is really quiet for some reason. If you want a reason, it's okay.
30 that you... Yep, it's 30 anyway. Hi, 30.
Hello.
I'm sorry, Morgan. I had you muted for some reason. I don't know why I had you muted. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm alright.
So, who gonna recording now?
I think George is over. On with it, Morgan.
I mean, I'm pretty
Why is
sure I'm
someone
still
else recording? I was starting up OBS and getting in.
Yeah, because no one who could record it was here.
I
did
started
you still want-
recording. I don't know.
If you still want to record Celeste, that'd still be great to have two recordings to back up. Or at
Oh,
least
so
the
you've
backup.
already started, okay.
Yes. Nothing has
I might have
happened.
to
other
restart
than,
my phone.
nothing has happened other than Pine saying we should kill him, the Paladin saying we can't kill him, we have to go through trials, and then Mountain saying we have to go through trials, and then Ida was trying to say something.
I don't think Callie followed you guys here.
Yeah.
No, I was
No.
No.
not there.
She stayed with the like the head of a church girl who used to be like a bad guy, but
That's
then-
right.
I stayed with Eileen.
Eileen.
yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
fuck. That's
names.
right.
Okay then.
This man's pet thing decided to go in and slaughter and ruin a church as well.
And how many times do I have to tell you? Can you get this thing off me? I have no idea what that creature is.
No one care about your feeling, jerk.
Go.
That
This
creature
joke
is
is
all
still
over,
angry.
I am
that
going
creature is
to
all over
try
the
and
fire.
get up, I guess.
I tempting to kill that.
Sorry, what was that, Morgan?
Yeah. What were you saying, Morgan?
That creature is the manifestation of all of your deepest desires.
He's okay, and yes, you can get off of him, I will say, as this guy
I've had
looks
this
at
written out for a while, Crystalline. I couldn't send it. I just didn't want to make you read it, but I had that written out for a while.
Yeah, you can do that.
Cool.
Okay.
Let me see. I just want to make sure that I want to make sure that I can actually do it.
Yeah, you can do that. Okay, and so Mountain is getting up, and this guy, he's completely disarmed. He has.
Would you
guys
consider
stole all his stuff.
Would you consider him
killed-
prone?
Oh.
Would I consider?
Would you consider him prone?
Yeah, at this point, yes.
Ow. No coup
And,
de
well, I
grace.
mean, you can wait till he gets up if you want. Oh,
If the
okay.
guy- if the guy still and full page heavy armor.
That was a bad roll.
Yes,
Yep.
it was.
Oh, God
I'm
damn
not
it.
Yeah.
proficient. I am not proficient in longsword, so
Yep. So you try and stab him with his own sword, and it planks off his armor. And
You can
the
easily play
paladins
that
kind
off
of
as
look at
just-
you. You can tell the paladins aren't exactly comfortable, but they don't want to stop you, if that makes sense. It's pretty obvious on their
You can
faces.
easily play that off as you were just like being rough with.
no.
Everyone's still over the corner looting a safe.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I was gonna ask about that. We're guessing the safe is empty by this point.
Yeah, the safe is probably empty by this point.
Everyone
Yeah,
doesn't
so I
even
had-
care.
Humans.
I'm gonna head over to Dance and ask him a question.
Okay. After you get off of him, this guy's going to start ranting about how, came into his, to his warehouse, attacked him, blah, 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 until you get a couple different clerics just kind of walking up, and they are going to all cast Hold Person unless someone else wants to try something.
I'm
Let's-
at a key point. So
Okay, so let's see if he actually makes the saves or if he's frozen.
The guy have too much AC. I cannot hit him.
Oh, he fails on the first one. Okay. He goes very, very stiff. Almost like he turned into a suit of armor statue. Kind of frozen mid-rude gesture, kind of a...
Dance. Would you have qualms with me killing this man?
This
Right.
point
I want to know straight up because you've seen what he can do.
shows up in a swank new
Let
cloak.
me look at Dance's sheet real quickly. Just... Oh, gosh dang it. Why does it make it shrinky? No. Okay, hang on. I gotta resize his sheet because it made it itty-bitty. There we go. Let me... Dance shakes his head.
Oh, shit.
That is a no, he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't care?
That's a. I am staying out of that
That
one.
is correct. But no, he kind of shakes his head no. As, this person turns to Mountain. Pick him up, please. We're taking him back.
Yeah,
No.
I was gonna do that, but
Well, if that thing come back and kill off you guy, then it you guy fault it didn't kill this guy in the first place.
They're all gonna kind of cluster around Mountain with their weapons drawn. If the thing decides to come back out, we will shank him as many times as it takes.
That's
Yes.
good.
Only a crusade I can get.
what are like where are the judges? What are those buildings called?
Courthouse?
That's courthouse.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's go to the nearest courthouse.
hold on a sec. Yes, Pine?
Those papers on that table as well. What was it?
They seem to be mostly ledger.
Ledgers.
Mm-hmm. For instance, you look at through some of these, they detail the acquisition of several pieces of armor that you notice on the wall behind you. Then there's also talk, about shipping deals, and there's a few things like manifests of goods being moved. It looks like, generally speaking, the paperwork regarding what's in the warehouse.
And
Okay.
what was the paperwork for the safe?
I mean, you could roll me an investigation check if you want to try and find something specific, although none of them have any idea about the safe.
No, I have the safe.
Oh, yeah, there was paperwork in the safe. Okay, let me think.
Yeah,
for
there
a
was
minute.
paperwork in a book.
I'm trying to remember what those were. Hold on a sec. Where were my notes?
Yeah, paperwork book safe.
Oh, the paperwork in the safe appears to be IOUs, basically letters of debt, if you will. People who owe him
boy.
money.
The IRS is gonna tear this apart. We might not have to do it.
What?
No,
It's
it's
not
not that
him
he.
owing
Yeah.
other people.
Oh.
It's other people owing him money.
Tear them up.
Wait, if you keep them, would those
that
other
case,
people pay you?
what-
Do
Hmm.
I have any firebolt?
Yeah, I got firebolt.
I mean,
So I'm just gonna
if you
hold
could
on to
prove that you had bought the writ of debt from him, yeah.
Don't burn
Sure.
it. That's
destroy all the
basically
papers
paper
and
money.
pretty much release everyone under control.
And then the book appears to be a list of contacts.
Useful? I'm holding on to that one.
Actually,
Okay.
who's in those contacts?
I mean, unless everyone wishes to share with you.
Stack of IOUs is right there.
A stack of letter. What was the term I used for these? Letters of debt, I think, or something
Debt
like that.
letters?
Yeah, that works.
That's probably a good load of gold.
So, is anybody going to try anything before you guys get to a courthouse or a jail or something?
I just want to see
Nah.
the guy die, that is all. So I will keep
Yeah.
following closely to make sure that he doesn't try to escape first.
I had my one shot.
Yeah, it
I
seems
could
like
have
the
one
dice.
more, but I'd be on the run.
Man on the run. Or actually,
And now the bone claw's gonna come back.
Around the
I
point
mean,
that
you guys
they're
don't know how long it will be.
around the point that they're
Okay.
gathering up the dude, everyone wanders over in a swanky new cloak. Yeah.
Okay, so there are a couple different ways you can go about this. So, there are 3 potential places you guys can take him. One of them is here. Here, let me do this. I don't like the snapping right now. So, you're basically... I thought I turned snapping off. No snap. The heck? I can't turn snapping off. What is this? There we go. You guys are basically here. You could scurry over to the shipping headquarters. Since he is one of their officials, he could be tried there. You could take him all the way over here to like the Paladins District or Long Patrol HQ if you want to try doing it through the city system. Or you could take him to like the actual temple districts here, since who was it? I'm trying to think who it is.
Crystalon,
Yes?
can we take him to the ruined temple that the Bone Claw destroyed to be tried there?
Well,
That would
if you knew where it
probably not
was,
be
one.
good.
but two, it's basically paved over. There's nothing there.
No,
No,
not
no,
that
no,
one. The one that the Bone Claw attacked, where Callie
Oh,
is.
Eldath?
Yes,
They're not going
where
to try
Callie
him.
is, and
That's the god of
The-
peace. They're not
Yeah,
really
I was
into
gonna-
trials and stuff.
no, they wouldn't.
I mean,
Probably
the
just
other
take-
thing that's
Probably just
what it
take him
is,
to wherever has the highest
you
security.
could take him here to the Temple of Tyr, god of justice.
Oh,
Yep,
let's
there we
take
go.
him Tier.
To cheer.
Yeah.
So, where do you guys want to take him?
Which is
Uh,
the
which place-
closest and the
Which
most
place has the highest
legit?
security?
Go tier.
High security, Paladin's District, hands down, no contest.
Okay.
Closest would be the
Most likely to
shipping
get him killed,
headquarter,
however.
But I mean, shipping headquarter bylaws are way different than the local, bareliest laws. So, you're not sure how that one would turn out.
Don't go to
Small god
shipping.
district with Tyr would be a good middle ground. It has decent protection and it's decently close, but
I'd say go with the tier play.
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
actually,
We're on a time limit.
wait, wasn't it? Actually, wait a second. Wasn't this the spot where you guys were? I thought
Oh.
you were.
Oh yeah, we were there. So
Actually,
Paladin
yeah,
did
you
take
guys
it
were right
closer.
here.
Oh,
Yeah, Paladins is closer. Okay.
then
Paladins.
Paladins. Yeah.
Okay.
Paladin district. Peaceful.
Okay then. So, you gentlemen get, and lady, actually, would you stop to collect Callie?
I'm the
Too
opposite
far.
direction. I'm in the temple place.
Actually, no, that won't be an issue.
Oh, okay, good.
I just realized that. No, that shouldn't be an issue. Okay, so here is more or less what's going to happen. You guys take him to the Paladins District, where they basically just throw him in a jail for a moment. I'm sure that Ida fills them in on, dangerous to keep alive, et cetera, kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they know they have to be expeditious about this, and I believe Tyrael already filled them in on that also, as would Dance. So, what ends up happening is, within about an hour, you guys, well, it takes you like 20, 30 minutes to get there, and then within about an hour, you all get a little summons. And basically it says, this is going to be expeditious. We want to get this over before trouble happens. Come to the courthouse as soon as you can, please. Now, Callie, you and Eileen are at the temple. When you get a little summons, basically, you two have been called as witnesses in what is going to be a little trial for an individual who you guys don't really recognize, but apparently is related to the murder somehow. Callie can probably put two and two together since she's heard about the Bone Claw.
Yeah.
I feel like Crystal is
Okay.
very happy because he prepared this.
Yes, I did.
He wants
I
us
was
out of
prepping this room
Aurelia by
today,
the end of this
actually.
session.
Not necessarily. I'm just happy the whole Bone Claw thing is getting tied up. Well, hopefully. Who knows? We'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, so it would be nice to have a plot thread finally tied off.
Instead of just unbraiding an entire rope.
So,
I could do a scarf with all the plot. Yeah.
okay, so you all would end up coming to what looks to be a rather large building. It's got, dedications to several of the different gods and things of that nature. As you come inside, these guys actually gesture you through some of the less used areas, and
This is
these
small
aren't
claim
publicly
court.
available areas. No. This is a fancy court, and you guys eventually end up here.
Oh, no.
Oh, Jesus H.
Oh,
You've
no.
gone all
Jason.
out with this one.
Gee.
Attorney.
Okay.
I don't think we're playing lawyer.
Objection.
Objection.
Anyway, you guys come
This
in
got
through
turned to
over
Phoenix
here,
Wright.
this side door, and there's a couple guards here. They tell you, go sit anywhere along the bench that's on the bottom of the room here. This is basically where the witnesses are going to wait, who might be, called during.
We
So we just sit on that bench. There,
Do we
red
allow
and
to
blue.
carry
Yeah,
weapon
just
or
put your
no?
character tokens down
Did
anywhere.
it important? Do we allow to carry weapon or not?
Okay.
Because they
Um,
killing.
That's a good question. Would they let you carry weapons? I would say just because there's several paladins, you know, there's Tyrael and there's Dance,
Then there's
and
the
you guys would also
colossal mech.
and you guys would also have noticed that these two accompanied you also, and the guy who almost got the crap beat out of him, well, did get the crap beat out of him several times.
Hey, good on him. He's
Yeah.
doing good now.
Again.
He's doing pretty
Yep.
good.
Fun.
Yeah, he's been healed up, but you know. Anyway,
Can I be
so
stretched? Thank you.
there you go.
Would that break the bench because you are heavy?
Yeah, I'm
Actually,
curious
yeah.
if you'd break the
The
bench or
bench.
not.
No, he just sends them flying to his sits
Oh
down.
yeah, cartoon physics. Just
Oh, so while you guys are all getting seated, you see this gentleman, these two, pop in from this door
It's
up
raining
here.
a bit heavily. I'm going to go and
Very
check the
top.
windows, make sure nothing's open.
Okay.
oh yeah, we could hear the.
Why is Khalil here? What is he doing?
That's just I had to use a token. Okay, I was on short notice. But
I'm kidding.
shush.
I'm kidding.
Did we get on Judge
Yeah, he
Judy?
comes and sits.
Wait, do we have a fairy dragon
Wait,
here?
Wait, no, that's Judge Kratos.
It-
Fuck.
That's basically the clerk, and he's got a little pseudo dragon there, kind of sitting next to
Oh.
him on the bench, grooming it.
Pseudo dragon? That is
Wait.
Oh, you mean a cat? Scaly cat.
Basically, cat.
he has a
Oh,
pet
baby
dragon.
cat dragon.
It's a pseudo dragon. They're not. They're diff.
It's a
They're not.
tiny little. It's a tiny little griffin.
It's basically more like a fae than an actual dragon.
And
But regardless,
Hey, big
why is
griffin.
my dog making such weird noises?
because they're dog.
Okay. Dog. Dog. Oh crap! I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Doop 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 doop.
Run, dun, 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 dun.
There we go. Okay, sorry. Accidentally sent that to the back. I didn't mean to do that. So, these guys come escorting Senor Grumpy Pants.
Your grunt.
And they have him stand right in the middle of this and then back off.
Yep, that's a trial.
As you can see, magic
prison.
kind of flare to life
Good.
around this. So, there's a lot of magic going on this thing right now.
Don't
as
cast
he's-
detect magic, you will go blind.
Pretty much. And then you get a couple of gentlemen coming in from the side also.
It's a gold ring.
Crap, where's the other token? Doesn't matter. I'll just use his token twice because I'm lazy, and there's a lot here. They're brothers.
Twins.
We'll say they're.
They're
Yeah.
D and dumb. This is the
They're
trial on
twins.
Jack of Hearts because he stole the tards. Be a trial.
Wait, are the chairs mimics?
No, we don't need mimic right now.
One of
You're
them
playing
just
Mountain, not Beck.
moved.
That's because I realized they're not on the map layer. And you also see some people shuffling in. Looks like there's some people here to witness the trial.
Oh, hey Seth.
Eh,
He's
Wait.
like, oh fuck you idiots! What have you done this time?
Oh,
He
he's gonna
didn't-
be questioned after this.
Everyone just swiftly turns the hood up on his
Fact.
cloak, like, nope, you don't recognize me.
You see him kind of, as he comes in, you see him kind of come up to the wall, and this wall here is basically like waist high,
So he's just leaning
and he
over.
knocks on it. You see Eileen turn around, and her face lights up. She leans back. They exchange a few words quickly, and then she sits back down.
So Toka get to meet Sip very
What's
few
he doing?
time because actually he get to meet only one time actually. So do I remember him? If I know.
Do you remember Seth?
He's
I
saying
wonder.
Toka's only ever seen Seth once, so would he remember? I think is what he's saying.
Probably.
I mean, he's hard
The
to
last time
forget.
you saw him, you guys were in Darnthal about to run into the mountains after you.
Dark-haired, white male human.
made
Yeah, you
Baron
recognize him.
Egg. You probably recognize him. I mean, and he does acknowledge the fact that you guys are there. You also notice Mr. Mulligan there, gives you a little wave. Hey guys, looks like you're in trouble again. But not too bad.
Of course.
Oh, he's saying they're in trouble even though they're the witnesses?
I mean, you guys are obviously involved in whatever's going on. Okay, so the judge bangs his little gavel for a second. All right,
Goddamn,
let's
I
get this
should not be
started.
here.
Yeah, the judge looks kind of tired considering it's a bit late in the day at this.
This is like his fifth case today alone.
Fellow dude, finish here. He on the left.
So
just wanna
he
go
kind
on
of
lunch.
takes, he kind of looks down at all of you, and all right, let's start the proceedings. He's clearly a little bit on the tired side. It's been a long day, apparently.
Huh.
So, Mr. What was his name? Gosh, I don't think I gave him a name.
No, you
The-
didn't.
The
Mr. Merchant.
Hold on.
the mean
hold on.
guy.
Hold on. Forza.
Like the car?
No,
F.O.R..
the name of the guy.
Oh yeah, I did. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Goodness, my notes for this have gotten so big.
No problem. I have it written down in my inventory because
Hey,
I
I
have
managed to
this-
make it this far before I had to actually note.
Okay. Yeah, I've got like 4 pages of notes from, this whole Bone Claw business. I keep losing things because there's so much there.
You planned out
Gosh.
getting a crime drama a la Perry Mason.
Did you guys enjoy?
So
Oh,
far, so
yeah.
good.
No, because Polo died.
I mean, you can bring Horo back. Shush.
Shush.
I did mention that when you took that level 1 ranger that I'd let you get away with it even if you weren't second level ranger.
Yeah, but it's still sad.
Fair.
Yeah. That's valid. So,
Continue.
Mr. Forza, is it? Do you care to relay to the court what exactly has transpired? Now, he's standing here in the middle of all of this. By the way, it does not look like they've healed him. He looks beat up. He's got it. I mean, he's got wounds bandaged.
The judge himself
bandages
probably
are
knows this
clearly-
more than a.
Yeah.
The judge himself
I mean,
probably knows this is just a formality.
maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Certainly not me.
Yeah, you
Anyway,
know everything.
so yeah, Forza, he's standing there, beat up. It's clear none of the clerics tried healing him. Nobody wanted to deal with him.
Well,
And-
he did attack a random paladin on sight.
Well,
Not surprised
He
he starts
starts-
on
He
heal.
came waddling out in his expensive ass arm.
I mean, they took his armor from him at this.
So he
Like-
now have low AC. Good,
Yeah,
because they
because-
can just throw javelin at him easily.
You can throw javelin at him in the middle of.
We are in the middle of a
Don't.
court.
Only if
Wouldn't
you
they
try to
have
escape.
taken us?
Besides, there's
Wouldn't
a
they
fourth-
have-
Oh, only if he tries to escape. Okay, that's a bit more reasonable.
If he tries to escape, good luck escaping though. I mean, you see where he's standing, right? They've
Yeah.
clearly made pains here. But
Yeah.
anyway, so Forza starts going off angrily about how this stupid, Inquisitor pops into his office, starts accusing him of raising some undead creature and using it to terrorize the city. And then how when he refused to come in because they had no basis for which to bring him in, that they attacked him, and so he called his guards.
Isn't that a bit
And
of an
then it-
alteration of the truth there?
Well, it's
I'm
100%
saying this
lying
out
to
of
us.
character. 'Cause didn't they get Dance to check him?
Yes, we did.
Well, anyway,
Yes.
he's still telling this story, and he's going. So he talks about how they were attacking him, so he fled to his warehouse. and he heard people coming in. So he went and got dressed up, and then he gets jumped by one of the paladins, who he suspects is in cahoots with the people who attacked him earlier. And so he starts attacking the guy. And then it goes and devolves into he got gank squatted by like a dozen paladins, and that massive monster over there, pointing at Mountain, sat on me. All of this without any basis in the truth.
Full play
The
takes
judge-
10 minutes to put on. He put that on within the space that they were walking in.
Well, he heard you guys coming because you guys kicked the door open, and then people started spreading out to search. And it took a couple minutes for you guys to all find. Besides, this is magic armor. Remember, his AC was higher than you would have thought.
And adrenaline. Like under adrenaline, I would say you would dress faster.
And I mean, I will say, out of character, he may or may not have already been in the process of dressing up when you guys came in.
Yeah, that's what I was actually thinking because, yeah.
Like he only just barely managed to get it on, but by the time they rounded that corner.
But anyway, so he finishes going off, and then since Tyrael isn't here, that's going to make this kind of difficult. Let's see who he's going to talk to first. Ebron missed part of it. Pine was there for everything, weren't you?
Oh yeah, I was 100% there for everything. I literally was
You were there for all
questions.
sessions. Okay, good.
Me too.
And he's
me
also
too.
mute.
Toka was as well. Yeah.
Okay. So he's going to look at some papers on his desk, and then, okay, a Mr. Pine and Toka.
Yes.
Are you here, please?
Just gonna
Yes.
raise a hand.
Let's hand to.
He is going to gesture you guys to step forward here. If you don't mind, could you please stand here? Kind of in the end of that symbol there. It's difficult to hear all the way across the room. If you'll excuse. So, would you care to relay to me your version of events for the court's official record?
Oh boy. All right.
So we'll do the talking. The lizard or the elf.
I literally can't speak, so you can do the talking, but I
you-
have
they
a lot of the facts.
They probably let
They
you
probably
keep a
give you a-
chalkboard for this.
Yeah.
Probably let you write it down. Hold it.
By the way, when you show your chalkboard, the judge just looks at you for a minute. Oh. You can't talk.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Harold. And this guy kind of pops up. Yes, Your Honor? Give that man your notebook.
Oh.
And so he just comes over and gives you his notebook with pen so you can write down your testimony.
Fine
and
is
then he's
going
just
to
kinda-
start writing down everything.
He's kind of hovering anxiously behind you. Oh, Harold, he's not going to hurt your notebook. He's a witness. Yes, I know, Your Honor. Nevertheless, Harold keeps hovering over your shoulder anxiously.
Oh, that's
That notebook's probably contains some eldritch
What is
magic.
that tiny little thing?
Anyway, it's a pseudo-dragon.
So
It's the Griffin.
It's kind of sitting on the desk there. It was sitting next to the guy, but when he got up, it got up on the desks here so it could watch.
So, all right. What am I writing? Okay.
While
so-
Pine's writing, we're gonna let Toka give their story first,
I'm bad
since
at
it'll take
talking.
Pine some time.
Excuse me for bad wording. I'm not the best at talking.
That is no issue to.
So where do we start? We should start when the thing happening. So we go to the Miss what's his name again? The guy right behind.
Forza.
Oh, him, yeah.
Okay, we go to meet for the office, and we suspect him of being a person that have the thing on him. So we start as asking him some stuff, some question. So after a while of asking him some questions, so we decide to get someone to try testing something, which is that a paladin. So after some testing, we found something quite interesting. So we would like to Miss Fossa over here to come with us, but he refused to cooperative with us. So he start telling his guard to come in. When Teal start to try to handcuff Miss Fossa over here, he start yelling at his guard to attack us. And then the guard attack and then we start fighting in his office. Things kind of happen very fast, and suddenly things start burning, and then Midforsa decide to jump off the hit of it and run away. So most of us end up still stuck in the building fighting his guard. And then, but luckily, most of us managed to get out of the burning building. So after that, we discover that from the guard that he is hiding somewhere in his warehouse. So we decide to go to that place. When we enter the place, we search around, and then one of the paladins start yelling that he discovered something. Then when we go there, we discover Midforsa over here in full plate armor and start attacking one of the paladins. And after a while, we manage to subdue him and bring him here.
Oh, Beck is bringing up a good point. The two guards that were captured, are they? Yeah.
Not currently, no. But in a minute. Let's hear Pines first.
I am still in the process of typing this thing because there's a lot of information.
I mean,
You
can
might
just
want
say it.
to mention the stuff leading up to it as well, as in like the first encounter with the Bangor.
Well, I was just saying that, we're gonna have Toka go first because technically he would anyway, and then Pine goes afterward because it would take you time to write.
I'm doing this slow to make sure I have all my thoughts straight down on the straight and everything because
This is
talk
important.
these cards sometimes.
All right. Well, he's doing that. The judge is just kind of waiting while Pine is writing. The witness may be excused to sit while you continue writing. Just notify the court as soon as you're finished.
And that guy's probably going to follow you back to the witness stand.
Oh yeah, probably.
Harold gives a little whistle.
No, he's sending a pseudo dragon to watch you.
Of course he's sending the pseudo dragon.
Can I look? Do I know what that dragon is? Can I
And
look
this
up?
thing, Pine, lands on your shoulder.
Okay. I'm still gonna keep
And
that.
it's watching you as you... Meanwhile, Harold goes back to his seat, pulls out a spare notebook, an inkwell, dips his pen, and he starts writing real quickly. You can see him... One moment, Your Honor. I need to record the lizard folks' testimony. They wait for a moment, and then he's like, okay, I'm ready, Your Honor. Then...
A speedy writer.
I mean, well, we're going to say a couple minutes pass because I don't want to make you actually wait. Do you want to wait?
No.
Okay. So, while he's writing, the judge looks at his papers and says, is there an Ida here?
Here, Your Honor.
If you could please step up to the stand. So he's telling you to come stand over there. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I understand that you have some knowledge of this creature that the lizard folk had mentioned. What was it called? Looks through his papers for a second. The Bone Claw.
Indeed, sir.
Could you please explain to the court what you know about this?
But I've said this many times. Do I have to read the whole thing out again?
No, you.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Which point you can see Harold over there is riding up a storm, and you kind of hear some mumbling from this guy over here on the right, and he stands up for a moment. Your Honor, if I may. Of course, please go ahead. And he comes over and he stands next to Ida. So, Ida, was it? How do you know that this creature, for one, binds itself to the soul of another, and how do you know that it is bound to this man?
Oh, Crystalline, I hate you so much for making me answer this.
Do you want help?
And that
I mean-
20 does not mean that they have an in-character reason.
I mean,
Becca, I rolled
you
a
can
nat
make
20.
up whatever you want, whatever reason you want. I don't really care what you say here.
We
Well,
only have one answer for why we know about the bone called attack
It-
to the guy that
it
we
could be
should then.
It could be study. It could be this is a creature you've encountered before.
Well,
Actually,
no.
probably wouldn't because you'd never have encountered
It's
one
the
of these
second.
before.
It's the second question that is bothering me. The first question I have the answer to. The answer to the first question is that I have been protecting this town alongside the guards and paladins of this very district. I protect it in my own way, of course, under the shadow of night, protecting those who would dare walk outside under the moon. I learned of this creature because I was facing it nearly every night. Over the last week and a half, I have done much research into the subject of undead, specifically this very undead, the Bone Claw. That is how I know that it is attached to a soul. How I know it is attached to his soul, and they point to Forza, is a very, very different tale. How I know that the Bone Claw is attached to Mr. Forza's soul is one. Oh, my heartbeat.
Give them a moment.
Is one. All of the deaths and all of the happenings within the past week and a half have been somehow related to this guy was he the CEO of shipping?
He wasn't the CEO. He was more like a regional manager.
So okay, a regional manager of a shipping have been connected to
Harkins and Hopkins.
Harkins and Hopkins. Okay. All of the murders and happenings have been connected to competitors of Harkins and Hopkins shipping district or shipping company.
The man is going to interrupt you for a second. You say that they are related to the company of Harkins and Hopkins, but most of the victims in question, and he's going to kind of go over to his desk here. He's going to open a book and go through some papers for a second. One moment, Your Honor. Then he pulls out a sheet and he comes back. Most of the victims in question were, as far as we can tell, unrelated to shipping, at least. One was, but the rest appear to be common criminals, smugglers.
Exactly. Smugglers. Competition for a shipping company.
Can I
Well.
give him that one?
That is true. I'm trying to think. How would he rebuttal that? I don't think he would.
I don't think he can.
Oh, feels so weird to be playing Miles Edgeworth instead of Phoenix Wright.
I don't know either of those games.
What they were smuggling is
You don't
important
know
as
either
well.
those.
Oh, hang on. I gotta get back in the mood after that one.
Cool.
Also, Dance did check
Oh,
his
gosh.
soul, yeah? Out of character.
Yeah, Dance did the
Well,
whatever the paladin thing is.
he did the divine sense, but I'll get to that in a moment. So,
Pizza?
competition for Harkins and Hopkins.
Indeed.
Very well. I have no more questions then, and he is going to go back. And then the guy behind you, you can see he's just standing here fuming, but he's smart enough to keep his mouth shut right now. At which point, this particular gentleman is going to step over, and he is going to say, "So, the victims in question, who were these people, as far as you know?" And then you're actually going to hear someone from the back of the room. Who was it?
Oh Christ.
Oh, I didn't put the token down.
Oh my god.
I told you guys I had a lot to say. Oh yeah, and I want a paladin to zone of truth with me the entire time throughout this.
Zone of Truth
Okay.
does not affect written
Doesn't
word, or is
work.
it just
Oh, it
spoken?
doesn't?
Does not.
No?
Nope.
So you're technically in the Zone of Truth because you can't say shit.
Well,
But anyway,
oh,
someone in the back stands up, a constable of some kind. You know, he's in the back near the, the witness section, if you will. Your Honor, if I may, here is a list of all the known victims. I was sent over here from the coroner's office. And one of the guards is going to come over here, grab said paper, bring it back up to judge. He's going to take a moment to sit here and look over all of this. Okay. So we have a illegal shipping. We have a smuggler from a known smuggler to and from the docks, an arcanist, a suspected front for warehouses. Interesting. Wait. A Delthar conglomerate official. And he looks at the guy in the back. This one says it's a Delthar conglomerate official. And the man in the back who would provide the paper, nods. Ida, how does this relate to this Delthar conglomerate official? You say these are all smugglers, but what of this one?
I never said they were all smugglers. I said they were all competition.
Competition. Delthar conglomerate official. Do you know who this official was? I don't have information on him.
Is he asking
Oh,
me?
Tilio.
He's
Yeah.
asking kind of generally.
Oh.
Yeah, Tyrael has that.
Tyrael does. Dang it, I had the words in my mind and now they're gone because
Sorry.
Why?
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of information on who this other person is.
I have
Well,
I have no prior acquaintance with any of the victims.
Very well then. You may be seated. Thank.
Of course, Your Honor.
All right. Now, Mr. Dance, was it? Dance is gonna step up. Doop-a-doop-a-doop.
Oh, the pseudo dragon should see I'm done right.
Oh. Oh, okay, yeah, fair point. So, as Ida's walking back, I'll just sit Dance back down. The pseudo dragon on your shoulder kind of gets up and lets I don't want to call it a squeak exactly, but it's not a roar either. It kind of makes a little call.
High
That's a
pitch
wow.
roar.
Get a meow.
At which it kind of gets down into your lap and it grabs the book from you.
Do it.
And then it kind of trots across the room with it.
So obviously it's not a big book.
Yeah, this is more like an.
Okay, good.
And it's gonna kind of half fly up onto the desk
I'm sorry you have to read
and
this,
set the book
Crystal.
in front of the judge. Actually, no, it's gonna give it to Harold over here in the corner. At which point, he's gonna take this and read it out. I'm just gonna read it out since I have to read it. I might as well read it out
I'm
loud.
so sorry, Crystal.
Oh, yes,
All
Your
in an
Honor.
effort to
So,
stay in character.
allow me to read the words of Mr. Pine. So, what happened was that we came to the city and heard about these killings. God, please don't be typing in chat. You just threw the whole thing out the text wall.
Oh, sorry.
Crap, where was I? Was that we came to the city and heard about these killings. My group of friends, Ebron, Toka, and Ebron.
No, sorry, Dan's. One of those was Dan's. I'm
Ebron,
sorry.
Token, and Dance started to search the city for who did the killings. And we witnessed something called a bone claw. The person named Ida can give you more details on the creature. Yes, the court recognizes Ida's testimony on the nature of the creature. Yes, of course. With this, we started to search for clues, and we learned that the bone claw was mostly killing smugglers.
Make a tiger
Smuggled
Scooby-Doo group.
weapons, and he pauses for a moment, and then he actually kind of gets up and goes over to, behind the stand with the judge, and he kind of holds the book out and points at a line. I'm not sure I should say that out loud. And the
What?
judge takes a moment to read this. He's reading the line
The
about
stuff for the city guard.
smuggled weapons and
shortage
or for
of
the stuff for
weapons and
shortage of
tools.
weapons, and the judge, he kind of, you can tell him he does this double take almost.
Wait.
Um,
There's his coffee for the morning.
And he kind of looks up for a moment. Mr. Pine, you are Mr. Pine, you are fully aware what you are alleging with this statement, are you not?
Shakes his head, yeah.
Don't you mean nod?
Yeah.
He's got a smile on his
judge
face.
kinda-
Shake it left.
The judge kind of shakes his head. Oh dear. Very well, Harold. You can
Just
pick
don't
up-
mention anything about it anywhere else. Probably is a good idea.
You can pick up from that line there. Yes, of course. Thank you,
I
Your
was
Honor.
right with that, right?
Yeah, you were right with that.
Yes, I remembered right.
And the judge is like, "What the heck is going on?" Anyway, so pick up from. Okay. And one killing was out of place. A killing of a man named Akamura. We don't know his relationship with Akamura, but Pine wouldn't know that bit, actually.
Oh, I don't? Oh, sorry.
You do not know the bit about the deal.
I thought
Yeah,
I asked
also-
Learnoff
Tino didn't
about
tell
it.
you.
Although,
Tyrael told
I
me.
don't think...
There was mention of a deal, but there was a big important deal that went
Hold on.
down.
Let me just...
You don't know
the
Any
deal.
details from.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't know any of the details of the deal. That was certain.
Okay,
Maybe
so
it
let's
was
just
mentioned,
say-
maybe it wasn't. But I will say that Tyrael would probably have mentioned that since, court of law, important case, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Although he would have probably done so privately. Because he was, he signed a writ of I don't know, a
Testimony or
non-disclosure. A non-disclosure. Thank you. That's what it is.
Okay, sorry.
Man, tying all these strings together is kind of a pain. Okay, so that line, where would I pick up here? Let me just quickly. Okay.
We learned about the
Okay.
piracy.
Yeah, you learned about the piracy. We then learned that there was targeted piracy on the Akamura family shipping companies, and that he worked for
The
sinking
shipping
the ship-
company he worked for. I
Oh,
screwed up that
that
line.
there was piracy on the Akamura family shipping company, and that the company he worked for, their ships were being sunk, but nothing was taken. Then the temple was then attacked, and we ran off to one of the companies and had gone to question him. He was very mean towards us, and we were just asking simple and friendly questions. At this point, this guy stands up. Objection, Your Honor. Yes, what is it? The witness's statements clearly conflict in this regard. And at this point, they're all going to look at Forza, who is going to, now that he's finally been addressed, Your Honor, these men came into my office and were insinuating that I was behind these murders. The questioning was far from friendly. They were very hostile to me, and then they tried to arrest me without cause.
That's wrong.
And then this guy,
Perhaps
Over
friendly
here.
wasn't the right word on your part, but
No, it wasn't. But the rest of that is
and
true.
then that guy on the left stands up. Your Honor, the specifics of the terms used here would be different based on the perspectives of the party in question. To those doing the questioning, it may not seem like they were being hostile, but to Mr. Forza, it may very well seem to be the case. Yes, but the circumstances surrounding the fight that broke out are important to the court at this time. But, Harold, continue the reading. We will revisit that in a moment. Yes, Your Honor.
typo in the next line.
Damn it.
And then I questioned him personally. He stated that he disliked paladins since they disrupted his work. The judge kind of pauses Harold and looks at Forza. Forza nods. Yes, I do not dispute this statement. They are very disruptive to what I do.
That might be a damning statement.
Oh, that's 100% one.
Not necessarily. I mean, you guys did.
Disliking someone's not the same as attacking them or anything like that.
I mean, you guys
Yes.
Well, this is
barged
it.
into his office unannounced,
This is a
started
militant
harassing
state. You ever
him.
say you don't like the military, you're
Anyway,
you're a
Then we
treasonous bastard.
then we had gone and grabbed Dance here, and Dance found that he stunk of undead. The man then immediately called his personal guard on us, and they attacked us once we refused to leave, as the Inquisitor was wanting to detain him to question him. Then the whole warehouse incident happened and all that jazz. This man as well does not like competition, and he wanted the best deal. The deal that you don't know.
I
that.
don't know. I didn't know. So
So,
So we'll cut that little last paragraph.
yeah, thank you.
And then Harold nods to the judge and sits back down. And then this guy on the right stands up. So, Your Honor, I would like to question Mr. Pine, if you please.
Oh shit.
Very well.
No,
The
no,
court
no,
acknowledges your request. Mr. Pine, would you please step up to the stand again?
Up there. Got it.
Who did we
Who did
lose?
we just lose?
Lithium, just lithium.
Oh.
I didn't even notice
Okay.
Rhythm was in ya.
Lithium.
Yeah. Rhythm. Okay. So, Mr. Pine, I have questions for you on a couple points here, but would you please reiterate for the court how this questioning went down and the events that followed? Please leave no details out. And you can just talk. We'll say that you're writing it out on your chalkboard.
So trying to remember it.
Do you want my... I remember everything even though I wasn't there.
So just correct me if I'm wrong in my statements.
You
Or go for it.
didn't
Please
initially...
help.
I can't technically help, can I? No.
Sugar.
Nope.
I have to remember
That's so
everything.
frustrating
Oh,
because I remember
bugger.
everything, but I can't do shit.
So
Yeah, that's a bit rough.
the Bone Claw attacked the temple. We went over there, or I went with the Paladin, same with Toka. Or not the Paladin, the Inquisitor, sorry, Tyrael. Tyrael then went up to the what do you call them? The people who sit at the front desks of buildings and greet you and whatnot.
You know,
Receptionist.
Secretary,
Yeah,
thank you. Secretary, and demanded to speak with him on whatever he calls it. Like,
you know.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
Oh, bugger.
Speak with the guy, right?
Yes, speak with the guy due to
Okay.
the circumstances that were happening, and he had his suspicions. I went up there with him, and Tyrael questioned him. Tyrael didn't ask him in the nicest manner, but he was nice enough. And then I just asked him if he didn't like Paladins after I asked Tyrael to leave the room so I could ask him questions. And I didn't say it in a malicing tone or anything like that. I don't know Tyrael how he did his questioning because he's Tyrael. But I asked him in just a plain tone. Actually, no, I can't even do a tone. I'm mute. I just asked him. And yeah, and then I called in Tyrael, and then we suggested.
Well, they came back into the room once they had danced.
Yeah, Tyrael came in, or I asked Tyrael to come back in, and we suggested that we go grab a paladin to confirm that the Bone Claw isn't on you, and it won't take much of your time. So we ran, grabbed Dan's. He came back and confirmed that he stunk of undead, and it took off from there with he called his personal guard when Tyrael wanted to detain him for questioning, and the personal guard attacked us, and we had to literally climb out a window off a burning building that could have killed many people. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. So,
Also, you should mention
far
that
as-
this guy isn't undead. Like himself, he's a human.
No, he has the undead soul on him, which stinks.
No, yeah, just mention that he's not undead by nature, because if he's undead by nature, then
Well, then he's literally on ground
Your Honor.
smitten.
Your Honor, for the court, I propose a test. Summon a paladin and have them. I don't know what the term would be, and have them inspect Mr. Forzanow. Very well. And this guy stands up. Objection, Your Honor. This sort of thing is not acknowledged by the court. How do we know that these divine powers do exactly what they say and that the party is unbiased? The paladins of this city
Wait,
were
they're
rather...
arguing that. They're arguing that in a.
Yeah.
In a place in the
that's-
Paladin district.
That's gonna
Excuse
rub.
me,
Hold
no.
on, guys.
Hey, hold on.
He hasn't finished his argument yet. Additionally, Your Honor, the paladins of this city were all very involved and interested in this man's capture. How could we even trust one of them to be a neutral party in this regard? The judge is kind of sitting back, considering for a moment. Valid points on both sides.
Zone of Truth would work on this.
I mean,
Thing is, Zone of Truth's a cleric spell. A cleric
Yeah.
and paladin spell.
Eileen,
So they'd probably argue against that as well.
and
I mean, you
these
really
two are
can't.
going to kind of...
How are you
These
going
guys
to
are going to start
argue
arguing
against
back and
that?
forth for a little bit. These guys are going to argue back and forth for a bit about the specifics of doing this particular test. So if you guys want to get any words in edgewise, now's probably the ideal time for it.
Okay.
why not get like 3 different paladins that were not involved in this incident, and get Eileen here, our cleric, and maybe another cleric to do Zone of Truth on them to confirm that they are saying what is true.
You realize paladins can do that too, right?
Yes, paladins.
Paladins
doesn't
also
matter.
have Zone of
Some
Truth.
holy person.
We need to actually do a proper inquisition, I see.
At which point, the judge nods very well. The test is acknowledged, and we'll go forward. Very well, Your Honor. And these guys.
Who was
can go
arguing against
back to
that?
their
Dude on the left.
the dude on the left.
D.
Isn't that the accuser guy? Wouldn't you want that to happen?
The guy on the. Oh, I got the two mixed up. It would have been the other way around. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy on the left. The guy on the left is the defendant. The guy on the right is the prosecutor.
Yes. Sorry, I got the two mixed up. So, they are going to, one of these guys is going to leave. And then after a little bit, he is
Bernhard
actually
keeps
going
coming
to come
back. Would you'd be able to sense it if the bone claw had actually reformed again somewhere? Like, I'm actually just kind of whispering that to. Actually, I suppose the only person next to me is Eileen. Like, I'm actually gonna just kind of whisper that question. Like, would that work if the thing had actually reformed?
Eileen shrugs. I know very little about this creature, unfortunately. And then these guys are going to walk up here. Quit pinging the map. Roll 20. I'm not pinging.
Ping,
Okay.
Ping, 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 ping.
And let me think. Actually, zone of truth, real quickly. I want to see something because if this is what I think it is, spells. Okay, let's see. Zone of Truth is a bard spell. Okay, in which case, this gentleman would step up. Your Honor, I can perform the Zone of Truth. Very well, Harold. Go stand next to the cleric, if you will, or the paladin, if you will.
Should I still be up there or back by the benches?
Yeah, you should go sit down.
Okay, no issue. Just wondering.
At which point, you're going to see Harold do some things, and he looks at the paladin, and then he nods at the judge. This paladin has submitted to the Zone of Truth, Your Honor. Very well, then. You may proceed with the test. At which point, the paladin focuses on the man for a moment, and then looks closer, and then looks back at the judge. I sense nothing on this man.
Shit, that means it's already reformed. Damn it.
Oh no!
Like, everybody on the back row just gets a pale
Well-
face, like, oh, fuck it.
Holding heads. Just see our entire crew just start to hold their head.
They could get the Zone of Truth spell's still
Yeah.
up. They could question could get Dance to
Yeah.
stand in the Zone of Truth and question them.
Yeah, that's actually kind of the next thing. So then the paladin just steps back. I sense no undead on this man. Forza gets this big grin on his face.
Your Honor.
Very well, you are dismissed. Yes, the court recognizes Ida.
I must ask, is this courtroom hollowed? Is this courtroom protected under all circumstances?
He kind of looks over at Harold. Harold shrugs. The judge shrugs. Not that I'm aware of. It
Fair
seems
fuck.
not.
Your Honor, I must ask to be excused from the courtroom.
Is there a pressing matter you must attend to?
If the undead is not being sensed on Mr. Forza, then that means that it either is not attached to him, in which case I was wrong, and I can be persecuted. You will be able to find me. I will not hide. Or it is reformed and it is in the city, in which case I have to be out there. I have to protect the people of Berlius.
The judge thinks about this for a minute, and then one quick point here. You do realize everybody of interest is in the room currently.
Yes,
Oh.
that is also why I asked if the room was hollowed.
Oh gosh,
Okay,
it's
I mean-
gonna appear here.
Well, I
It
mean,
might not
if you still
appear
wanna
here, but it might not appear. I mean, the judge could always say no.
He wants to be free, so most likely place for it to attack is here, I guess.
Now, does he not like? Doesn't he like not have proper control? Quit it with.
It-
Friggin-
It
No,
goes
like-
after his deepest desires, though. Right now, I think he wants us dead and to get out of here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he has no direct control, but does exactly what he secretly wants. So if it pops up here, case closed. But we'll also wallop.
Yeah.
The judge can always say no, that I may not be excused because I am a key witness to this case.
Very well, you may be excused, but please remain available if you can.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yes, what is it, Mountain?
That's such a bad idea,
What?
but it's a good idea.
I assume Ida would have mentioned that it teleports in shadow, so he probably gets the idea of
Yeah.
what's going on.
Didn't
the suggestion means.
didn't they mention that it has the same abilities as they, aka shadow teleporting?
Shadow jump.
The judge kind of looks at Mountain for a minute.
I s- like,
It responds to someone's.
This is a
Deep
court of
desires.
law. What exactly are you proposing?
very dumb idea. I can assure you, Your
Do we have any
Because
light in the
it
room?
sounds like you are trying to bait the creature into my courtroom.
I'm just gonna. I'm not moving, but I'm gonna look around the place just to make. Are there any like major patches of shadow it could pop out of?
smart judge I've ever met. Jesus.
Shadow of the statue.
That's just the asset, but
No, but the shadow of any of the statues, like you could appear in the corner there if there's room.
yeah, behind the statues maybe. Yeah.
Objection, Your Honor. The actions of the creature have no bearing on the guilt or the innocence of Mr. Forza. Sustained.
Wrong.
You cannot prove Mr. Forza's guilt based on the actions of another. Not in this particular instance, at least.
And I'm not in.
It works off. Wait, would Pine know that? It works off deeper desire?
Ida would have said that earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
explained
works
to the
off
creature to the
deepest
party.
desire. So,
I explained the creature to the party many times.
Yeah.
It-
Well, and here's the thing. That's circumstantial evidence. It's not enough to prove guilt.
Shit, we didn't do our
Wait,
research before
wait.
choosing.
Besides, that's, I mean, sure, it comes in and kills someone, but how can you prove that was something he was directly involved in? Besides
else
which,
knew about
all
the
the people
cult?
the thing wants are in the room right now. So, I don't know the specific logical term for that. What is that? Not a straw man.
A
Basically,
strong bad?
it's not necessarily, it's not a cause-effect kind of thing in this case. So it coming into the courtroom where everyone it's interested in is anyway is not necessarily proof of guilt or innocence.
It's there's two ways you could look at it.
Yes.
It's either inconsequential or it is in. Oh, I just had the word.
I mean, it's circumstantial.
But my next thing that I said is
mean-
not. I mean, if we
Obviously,
defeated.
the legal
and-
method isn't gonna work.
Oh, when the creature is defeated, the test could be redone.
Ah, that is actually a good point. If the creature is defeated, it will be on Forza again.
And the court recognizes the legitimacy of said statement. However, I do not want my courtroom being used to bait a dangerous creature, especially not when there are innocents present.
That's a
And can we
fair
use a
point.
jail cell?
We have Slit here, we have Mid Morgan, we have.
The
Sid
judge
here.
stands up for a second.
Stop
I
talking
understand.
about baiting the thing in here. You're going to
I
piss him off.
understand your willingness to fight this creature, but the risk of casualties and unintentional deaths is extremely high. Not to mention, I will not have my courtroom be turned into some battlefield. Do not use my court in such a manner.
Everyone raises its.
Besides which, who exactly would you propose to be the bait for such a test anyway? No, this is not going to go forward. We are going to prove this, and we are going to do so without putting another life in danger. That is the job of the courts.
How do you say okay, but like not, like you know what I mean? Yeah.
Besides which, I even know that the creature would come for you. As far as the history has been shown, this creature has come for known criminals, with one exception.
There's literally no way we can
There's no way we can prove it.
without the thing
Well,
being dead.
What's more formal way of saying
Then-
okay? Can someone tell
I'm
me?
not actually saying that in character. I'm just kind of annoyed out of character.
No.
I mean, there is one other way that I've kind of referenced previously, but
When will you learn we don't pick up on your references,
Guys.
for Christ's sake?
No.
What?
Let's try and finesse this, people.
The scalpel didn't work. I'm going for the hand.
How-
You don't have to read it out loud.
How
Just
does
you review it here?
how does okay work? Like how to say okay in more formal manner?
Yes, sir. Or...
Yes, sir. Of course.
Thank you.
at which point the guy on the left is going to stand up for a second and say, Your Honor, if what they are saying is true, then the creature may very well be out and about again, assuming it is connected to Mr. Forza here. So, could this court request a recess until the creature has been dealt with? And the other guy is going to stand up on the right. Objection, Your Honor. As you stated yourself, how can the actions of this creature be proven? Even if, as Mr. Mountain says, we could redo the test again after the creature is dead, how would that prove that my client is guilty of the crimes he has been accused of? Specifically, he has been accused of attacking guardsmen, but at the same time, he claims to have a good defense, that they accused him of being involved in these murders, when he says he is not. We must not forget what exactly the crimes he is accused of are.
Can I
No,
can
boy,
I
the
say
guy on
something?
The guy on the left is going to the guy on the left is going to counter object.
Oh.
I guess we'll just go back and forth for a good while.
Yeah, they're gonna go back and forth for a while.
Where are
I
they?
don't feel like going through all this.
Bicker,
You mentioned that there were. You mentioned that there were guards. That like, as in forces guards. Wouldn't they be able to?
In this
say that?
case, guardsman, he's specifically referring to like Tyrael and
No, I know, but
Dance.
like he had his own personal guards, and two of them were captured.
And yes, I'm glad someone remembered that. I'm surprised no one's brought it up yet.
I did.
I wasn't technically there, so I can't bring it up.
Did you bring it up in text? No, I mean like in character.
Oh.
Because in character, it's not been brought up, and I don't think anyone's actually mentioned that at all yet.
So I wouldn't know.
Well, I don't know what
I mean,
to
that's
do
what I
because
was
am
hinting
lizard
at to you.
folk. In middle
Someone
of
mention it in
courtroom.
character, please.
Would lizard folk
I
know
bet
how
it's-
to do that?
In
Because
character,
I'm-
So
everyone's-
yeah, Pi. So you guys are hearing these two guys argue back and forth about, what he's actually being charged with versus, what the court should be able to recognize here, and they're going over a whole bunch of stuff back and forth.
We're asking about a guardsman that got arrested, right?
Yep. Someone say something, please.
Yeah, alright.
Actually, I think Mountain caught one of them, and then I would
Mountain
wager.
caught- They got left with. I think they got
Yeah.
left with another group of paladins, though.
Yep.
To go and take to prison,
Which is
or
why
another group
they
of guards.
haven't been brought to the attention here because, this is all. It hasn't been mentioned yet. The judge is still figuring out stuff as you go because this is kind of rushed.
So somebody just say it.
Alright, everyone's
You
gonna...
could write it out on your chalkboard.
There.
I'm trying to.
What would you say there? Can we review the guardsmen that were arrested?
Oh wait, Mountain mentioned something in text chat. Phone call goes first. Additionally, we've captured two of
You
his
know,
guards.
Everyone kind of pauses for a moment at the mention of that, and the guy on the right is the one who's the guy on the left is the one who says, "Your Honor, I motion that we track down the locations of these two guards and we bring them in for questioning." And the judge, nods his head. Yes, I would agree with this. And he sends out one of his bailiffs and says, while we are locating the location of these two guards that were captured, court will take a brief recess.
Pine's just sitting here running things through his head.
The judge is going to head out for a bit. At which point, this guy brings a chair for... Actually, no. He would escort this gentleman out. As all these guys would also head out. I'm just going to put them on the GM layer. Boop. Anyway. Harold is still going to be sitting there, though. As you guys are now free to move around and talk. And you can hear a whole bunch of people talking from back in the witness area.
At this
Can't remember
point,
what it's called.
at this point, everyone gets up, turns around. Wow, we're... What the fuck was this?
So,
Why the legal system bullshit?
if the smugglers steal profit from trade and the bone claw kills the trade, people stealing trade, what happens with that company if they don't have any smugglers smuggling their goods?
It
Profit,
gets pretty rich.
right?
Yeah.
If profit happens, and we know the bone claw works off deepest desires, this man wants company to profit, yes.
Yes.
Usually, in some experiences I've heard of,
Okay, fine.
people
This-
kill to get higher on the ladder. So, and to get higher on the ladder, if you have really good background with being good at your job, you usually get promoted and put higher up on the ladder. If you get put higher up on the ladder, you have more power. So, he is killing smugglers and sinking others' trade because he wants the company to be so profitable he gains a large amount of trade, renown, and get put higher and higher and higher up on the ladder. He wants power in the company. That might be his deepest desire. That's the only reason I can think that he would have killed another trade.
Oops, sorry.
The sass coming from Ebron at this point.
Yeah, Dance comes over and stands next to you. Ebron, it's not as bad as you think. I
What do you
grew up
mean it's
here.
not?
They like to argue their rules constantly, but at the end of the day, they're worried about treating everyone fairly, which they will always err on the side of caution when it comes to accusing someone of serious crimes, such as we've brought. Do you really think they want to be responsible for innocent blood on their hands?
Everybody's responsible for innocent blood on them. As soon as they're conscious of it, they get weak at the knees.
It's only Zogval.
Slit it here and add a cameo.
Like Zogval.
Eileen, how does that sound?
What? To Eileen, what?
Eileen and Kelly, the man wants profit in the company. That's the ulterior motive, to get higher in the company. He wants power. Or money.
Or maybe he just wants his, to make more money, just for the sake of making more money.
When people make more profit, they get put higher up on a ladder, though. There's an ulterior motive to make
Yeah,
money.
but I mean, I wouldn't be against just making more money, even if I don't get raised to a higher level. If I'm making additional 100 gold coins,
Well, we should probably ask how long it's been since he's last been promoted to a higher position,
yeah.
and if he desires a higher position in the company.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that you are wrong, I'm just saying that you're not necessarily right.
Thing is, if he doesn't know it's attached to him, that can't really hold up.
His deepest desire is to go higher in the company, maybe even own the company eventually.
Okay.
Oh, bugger, I've forgotten. Does Ebron only know about the Seth thing?
Which Seth
Huh?
thing?
How
Dance knows.
Seth and Travis are connected to
Oh.
each other.
Oh wait,
Toka
that's
knows.
right. Hang on. I gotta pull up my Travis.
Yeah,
God, I had these.
The information you got from the information broker, everyone who was at the information broker knew that.
Yeah.
But I don't think now's the time to be questioning him about it.
Oh no, that was the perfect time.
No,
we should
we,
ask
Around
him
this
to-
point, everyone knows
No,
Seth is
after.
Ebron, wait. Seriously.
why would you
Don't-
be talking
David.
about
I'm
food
not-
right now
I'm
when we
not-
had to deal
like,
with the bone
Out of character, don't.
We can literally ask
You are
him for a
going
drink
to-
after. Asking him for a drink after would be the simplest thing to do.
We don't want to end up in arguments in a courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely would not know Seth, so I'm just kind of. Eileen seems to know him. The other people who I met seem to know him. I don't know him, so I'm just kind of there awkwardly.
But yeah, everyone says dance. I don't know how you lawful types do it. Just let these nonsense rules and constant bickering decide what gets done.
Yeah, unlike chaotics, we actually get stuff done.
I mean, that's his entire mindset. That the only laws are the moral code.
You don't necessarily seem to follow that very well. Like, out of character responding to an in-character thing.
His logic is sound there. Unfortunately, his moral code is more of a survival of the don't get fucked over.
I mean, you said, how do your lawful guys get things done? This is out of character, but at least lawful characters get things done.
They don't.
They do.
There's a confused Callie in the middle of a conversation that's like a three-way
Hang on, 1
conversation that
second.
she has no clue about.
And about this time, you can hear.
Cat looks even
people
more
start-
confused at that whisper pine.
I might need to go.
Okay. At this point, people start coming back in.
I am sorry, everyone, but like my vision is all blurry, and I think I'm just super
Aw.
tired.
Oh,
Like I
Okay.
can't
Oh,
read
okay.
anything. Like I can't see half of the screen. So yeah.
Understood.
Dude.
So people start coming in again.
Bye.